Ay, welcome na naman sa isang panibagong episode ng Barber's Cut kung saan nagdi-discuss kami ng iba't ibang topic na nakakaapekto sa ating lahat ng mga Filipino Canadians. At syempre, hindi kumpleto ang isang episode kung wala ang mga fellow barbers natin na si Philbert Wong.
Yun, magandang araw po uli at hello.
Andito rin si Warren Jan.
Ayos, thank you for guesting me again.
Hindi ba naman kayo nag-away dalaw ni Philbert?
Tungkol saan?
At
Sa TikTok?
syempre, hindi naman kumpleto ang isang episode kung wala ang ating special guest. At introduce natin na isa sa mga, kung si Philbert ang hardest working man sa showbiz.
Naku naman.
Ito,
Mr. Showman.
hardest working man sa real estate. Ayan. Kaya nga naka 0.25. Imagine mo kung sino yung makaka 0.25. Kung alimbawa pinapost nila, ito 1%. 0.25%. Nandito po si Chad.
Oh, hi. Kamusta?
Ayan.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me sa show niyo.
Ayun.
Paano yung
Welcome.
2.5?
0.25.
Sorry, 0.25.
Ibig sabihin, mas konti ka pa, yung na-accomplish mas konti sa karamihan. Kasi mas mababa siya sa 1%. Di ba?
Okay.
So, ibig sabihin, nasa top 0.25 ka.
Okay.
So, ibang ibang level. Yun, welcome nga pala, Chad.
Oh, thank you.
Yun. So, unang tanong.
Kailan bababa ang rate?
Kailan ba presyo ng bahay o interest?
Hindi kahit interest tapos bahay.
Oo.
Di ba? Or bababa pa ba? Magiging affordable pa ba dito sa Toronto? Sa tingin mo lang.
Ang presyo ng mga bahay, I don't, it's really hard to say kasi I don't honestly think na magiging affordable pa ang owning a home. Kasi kung titinan mo mabuti, yung increase ng income natin is not in par with the increase of values of homes. But mainly, dahil yan sa, sa supply and demand. Right? So, ang daming dumadating na mga tao sa Canada. And in fact, noong 2022, about 2 million people came to Canada.
2
Right.
million.
That's right. So,
2022 yun. Baka mas
2020
madami pa ng 2023, 2024.
yeah, hindi ko pa nakita yung stats ng 2023. Although I know, nung 2023, merong more than 1 million international students na dumating sa Canada.
And mostly, yun naman yung dumarating international students.
Yes, kasi yun yung
Ah.
pinaka-mabilis.
Not counting sa mga illegal immigrants kayo na nandito.
Dito pa meron?
Punta ka doon sa Wilson and Kill. Punta ka doon sa Wilson and Kill, makikita mo.
Hindi ko pa nga nakita yun, pero may
Oo.
nag-post na gano'n
Okay.
na parang pumipila.
So not
nga.
counting, sabi mo, ilan? 2.5 million,
So,
2022?
over
Wow.
1 million, 2023, dumating na international students. Noong 2022, more than 2 million ang dumating sa Canada. That's a combination of temporary workers, visiting visas, international students, tsaka yung mga immigrants. Right? So, immigrants is about 470,000 in just 1 year. Right? Kaya yung growth of value ng mga property tumaas. And on top of that, nagkaroon pa tayo ng pandemic. Right? So, siguro pinakamagandang to start with is inflation.
Inflation.
Right?
line.
So basically with the inflation, right? Dahil ang taas ng inflation natin, ang ginawa ng Bank of Canada is in-increase na nila yung interest rate just to control that. The thing is, sa totoo lang, Bank of Canada, they would rather have a recession than inflation. Kasi ang recession, kaya nilang i-solve right away. Pero ang inflation, it's a no. It's hard. So ang ginawa nila, tinaasan nila yung interest rate. Kaya lang parang contradicting kasi mataas na nga yung mga bilihin, tapos sinaasan mo pa yung mga interest rate. So para kang naglagay ng humidifier tsaka dehumidifier in one room. Right.
Parang sila.
That's right. Pero the only thing I can think of kung bakit nila ginawa yun is because they're trying to stop people from spending too much. Right? Kasi the more you spend, so lalong tumataas yung mga bilihin. Kasi especially nung COVID-19 nga, tinan mo yung nangyari, right? Like everything went up in price. Hindi lang real estate, it's everything. Right? And the funny thing is yung mga economists, nung before nangyari yung pandemic, big economists said na babagsak ang real estate. Pero tingnan mo kung ano nangyari.
Dumoble pa.
Tumaas yung value. But that is because Bank of Canada and the government will protect real estate. Kasi ang laki ng contribution sa economy natin ng real estate. Right? So the opposite actually happened. Right? So binabaan nila yung interest rate. nagbilihan ng mga properties yung mga tao. And we have to realize, majority of Canadians are good savers. They have money. They have savings. So they use that savings to buy properties. So tumaas ang value ng mga property. And ngayon, dahil sa sobrang laki ng demand, hindi na nakayanan ng community or ng mga tao na gustong bumili ng bahay, sobrang nang taas yung presyo ng mga property. So now they have to do something to hopefully lower that.
So
But-
yung inflow, sorry to cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
So inflow ng population plus yung zero interest rate.
Oh,
Right?
actually,
Zero interest
yeah.
rate. So everything combined.
Yeah, actually,
Right, so-
hindi naman zero interest rate, but I've
2.5,
seen
zero,
below 1%
2.5.
at one time,
Yeah,
right? Ayun, I want to talk about investment, kaya lang I think we're getting too far ahead.
Hindi, pwede,
Kasi it has
pwede.
something to do with that din. Kaya lang yun nga nangyari. Actually, explain ko na ngayon.
Sige, sige.
Nung pandemic, ang baba ng
Magsulat
interest
kayo,
rate.
no?
Merong below...
I-replay ko na lang.
Yeah, so may interest rate na bumaba na below 1% for a certain point of time, right? So ngayon na nangyari, a lot of people bought. And ngayon, bumababa na ang...
Ako yun.
Refinance.
Actually, maski ako bumili din.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
So,
free money, di ba?
Yeah,
Pero
yeah,
what happened?
and honestly, real estate is always going to be a really good investment. If not, actually, I believe, not just because I'm a realtor, and I'm an investor myself, real estate, I believe, is one of the best investments you can have. Although, hindi siya para sa lahat. Right? So, may mga investment na may mga tao na they could invest in something else which is good kasi madami namang good investment there pero it has to be for you, right? So yeah, so like I said, yung interest rate ang baba, ito ang problem ngayon. Yes, tumaas ang interest rate natin, and in the next year or year and a half, there's gonna be about $1.5 billion in mortgage na magre-renew,
Yeah.
and these are the people who bought at the lowest interest rate.
So, yeah. So, sabi ko nga, kasi they're considering now to cutting back rates, di ba?
Mhm.
So, I mean, US is, I guess, scheduled to cut. They're saying to cut rates twice this year.
Oh, it will be more than that.
Maybe we'll move more than that. But Canada is also scheduled to even cut more because doon nga sa mga re-renew this year or next year.
Hindi ma-afford.
Dahil yung affordability, they want to cut more. So this is good news for us.
Yes, that
Okay.
is definitely good news.
Kasi
Mhm.
kasi we have 5 years doon. Sa US is like 30 years,
Mhm.
right? 30 years, right? Dito 5 years. That's why
Yung
when-
mga mortgage
kapag
na.
magka-cut rates dito, there's more cut here na mangyayari than sa US. So
Okay.
Mhm. So siguro yung isa sa mga pinaka-challenges natin when that happens is, yes, totoo na bababa ang interest rate. So buyers will buy, right? So usually when we say na bababa ang interest rate, tataas ang presyo ng mga properties. But the question is, paano itong mga tao na magre-renew with a really low interest rate, and now they have to get something at 3.5. Hopefully it goes down that low, or maybe 4 to 5%.
Ngayon nasa 5 something. Or,
Ngayon nasa 5%, around
yung mga,
5%.
yeah, what I'm hearing is about 3.5.
Yeah, although I've seen 4.8, 4.7, right? But the thing is, this is low for the new buyers today. Pero yung mga bumili ng bahay nung 2020, 2021 with an interest rate of 1%, and take note, they bought at the peak just before the market change. So maaaring yung binili nilang property nung 2020, 2021 is still the same value today. And if they will mortgage that in today's interest rate, magdodoble ang monthly payments nila. So my only hope is, if this happens, at least mag-balance lang. Instead na mag-grow ng so much yung presyo ng mga properties, hopefully the market just balance instead of going down again.
But I see that also as opportunity dahil now, let's say, affordability is gonna be a problem. Saka yung mga, paying off their mortgage and stuff like that, there's now room for renting.
That's right.
Right?
So, ito nga. So, ito yung good thing about especially Ontario, and I'm sure other provinces, we have options. So, para na makakatulong sa atin to pay off our mortgage faster. Or kung hindi natin kaya yung mortgage natin, we always have the option to rent para mabayaran natin ang mabilis sa mortgage natin. Right? And like I said, with 1 million international students coming to Canada last year, these people need a place to stay. And that's part of the reasons why kung bakit yung rental natin dito sa Ontario, meron tayo, actually, I have to say, we have rental crisis.
Rental crisis din.
Yeah. Kasi,
Dahil short
that's
supply.
right. So, short supply. Although the government is doing a lot to solve that issue. In fact, we have about 1.5 million properties na they will build by 2031. Para
That
lang
will take too long.
ma-accommodate yung mga taong darating dito.
That's too long.
Yeah, but that's 1.5. That's too long, yes. But we have to realize that's 1.5 million. But look at it this way, right? In fact, look at Pickering. Pickering alone, ang Pickering is 3 major intersections, and they're putting up 45 high-rises.
Right. Damn, and laki na.
Move na
dami.
kayo doon.
Yeah, Hamilton actually is one of the biggest things, and you can consider this as a good investment to go to. They're developing Hamilton, and Hamilton will be the second downtown Toronto in the next 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So the government invested so much in Hamilton. The Slate, one of the top builders out there, invested $2 billion to buy Stelco, and they're redeveloping Stelco to be a mix of commercial and residential area. Kasi tulad yan, sa Hamilton, in 2023, Hamilton, I believe, was number 3 popular destination to international students because they have McMaster, they have a Mohawk, right? Also, Hamilton is so strategic kasi Hamilton is in between GTA and the US border, Niagara.
Tsaka
Right.
yung ang Hamilton din, yung kumpleto siya yung nature. Alam mo yun? So meron kang mga waterfalls
Correct.
mismo dun na. Tapos may lakeshore ka pa.
That's
So
right.
yun nga yung sinasabi nila, parang narinig ko rin yun na yung lakeshore doon sa may Nikola Tesla,
Mhm.
yung mga dating mga factory, yun I think yun yung ibibilda nila. Like, di ba?
Yeah.
I-change nila yun. So, kasi sinasabi natin dati armpit of Ontario yung Hamilton. Kasi
Yeah.
pagka ano mo sa Skyway, makikita mo yung mga usok. So,
Mhm.
yun yung i-change nila.
That will change.
So,
And that's the reason why Hamilton is actually one of the best places to invest your money on over long term, right? In fact, Hamilton prices already has gone up from since they announced it last year, right? So yeah, so big things are happening everywhere. Another thing sa Hamilton is the land is so cheap na ang daming mga businesses, technology companies na nag-invest there. And in fact, there's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, about 35,000 new jobs in Hamilton.
Sa akin,
move na tayo ng Hamilton.
sa akin crypto.
Tagal na pinapamove sa akin.
Long-term investment, crypto. Crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Wala real estate sa...
Yeah. So, yeah. And same thing in Pickering, right? Pickering has grown, and of course, it's gonna expand from there. So, marami talagang area na maganda mag-invest ngayon, right? And so kung tatanungin niyo ako, there's too many options out there. It will just depend on what kind of an investor you are. Dalawang klase lang naman ng mga investors eh. Yung mga tao na nag-i-invest based on equity at mga tao nag-i-invest based on cash flow. Right? I know there's a lot of people who are talking about cash flow. It's good, right? But equity, I think, is better. The reason why is because the more equity you have, like over long term, mas malaking kikitain mo sa equity. So you may not have the cash flow that you want, but the growth is there.
Meron ba kayo na TikTok?
So, ang tanong, ilan ba yung bahay mo?
Secret.
Ang tanong, gaano karami yung bahay mo?
More than one.
Ayun. So, yeah, I think okay naman. Like, sa akin din at real estate talaga isa sa mga... Pero yung tanong nga is yung bababa ba talaga? Bababa ba?
That-
Like, magiging affordable pa rin ba sa mga taga-Ontario?
It's tough. That's hard to say. Kasi ang nangyayari ganito, right? Yes, they're trying to bring down home prices by doing a lot of things, but the demand is always going to be there. And you have to realize, like GTA, for example, para na tayo New York, we have so much commodities. And tinan mo, nung nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic, we got hit, but we didn't got hit hard. Kasi if one part of the economy is down, the other part of the economy is holding it. Right? So, ang daming dumadating ng mga tao sa Canada, and majority of them are going to Vancouver and Toronto. although government has incentives for people who wants to go elsewhere, right? Like for example, mas madali makakuha ng PR if you go to places like Saskatchewan versus Ontario.
Doon, no.
You know, things like that. But the thing is, dahil ang daming green space dito sa GTA and surrounding areas, right? Dahil ang daming mga tao at dahil ang daming commodities,
It's
The
the
demand is
same
so
as
high.
like, why would you go to Manila? Because the money is there.
Yeah.
Diba? bakit ang daming tao nang pupunta sa Manila, right? So I
Mhm.
think it's the same because the money is here. Major companies are here, and they want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Right. So
Pero
And-
itong mga, tatanong ko lang, itong mga nasa crisis ng mga magre-renewal, di ba? Na sabi mga 1%, tapos ngayon 4%, 5%. Yung mga realtor dati, hindi ba nabigyan ng mga warning yun? Kasi kayo ang expert dyan, di ba? Like alam niyo yung interest rate, pag ganyan, hindi forever yan. Pero record-breaking yung mga sales.
That's right. So that's actually a good question, no? And I have to say, lahat kami mga realtors are professionals. We do our best to give advice to our clients. The thing though is I have to say, unfortunately, na different level din ng mga knowledge ng mga realtor kasi maraming I have nothing against new agents. I believe they're great. I was a new agent at one point. But nung 2020, 2021, ang lakas ng hype na literally you will buy and you will not think of the negative.
Well-
Right? I actually had clients whom I recommended selling and not buying because I know this was gonna happen. Right? With me kasi I'm an investor and I study the trend all the time. Right? So I can predict that. Although I'm not 100% perfect,
So-
kaya nga prediction eh.
So for me, when I bought a house back then, kasi ako nga yung isa,
So yung pinapatamaan ko.
isa din.
Siya si Barry.
Like, I knew, and I expected that the rates will eventually go up. Pero hindi yung rate na they had to raise how many within 1 year.
That's right.
Nobody expected that.
No, I think
that was
alam yun.
No,
Like,
nobody expected that. Kasi as I said, like I think it would be better to go variable kasi within probably 2 years or 3 years, that's when yung variable rates kung ngayon will eventually equal out to whatever fixed rate is going to be offering. But what? Every 3 months there was like
Meron yan.
75 points basis.
Yes.
75 point basis, 50 points, 25 points. Nobody expected that,
See,
right?
So, miscalculation ng gobyerno?
I don't want to get into
It's,
politics.
it's not that. It's just that they're too behind of their ang tawag mo doon, yung data na
Yung dumarating.
nakukuha nila. They're lagging, basically. They're
Yeah.
lagging.
So
So they're trying to battle inflation, but they have to wait for the data. And then when they get the data, it's like, oh shit, we're in trouble. So
Hindi kaya nga in advance na nila.
yeah.
yeah.
Pero
Diba?
like if you want to add something to that.
No, it's okay. You can go ahead. Tab.
But my thing is they should be looking at some different they should be looking at it on a different perspective because inflation is always going to be there.
Mhm.
Like you said recession or inflation. I think it's the opposite because inflation is always inflation 2% every year,
Mhm.
right? Every year, and then anong goal ng Canada at saka US? 2%. 2%. It's not gonna be there. It's not gonna go there. It's not gonna go there. And here's the funny part. You mentioned kanina yung humidifier and
Humidifier.
they're trying to battle out inflation. At the same time, they keep printing money. How's that gonna even equal? How's that even gonna help us? You know, they're supporting this war in
Israel.
in Israel. They're supporting this.
Baka makancel
No. I'm just saying. They're supporting this in Ukraine and stuff like that. The money they're keeping printing money. So printing money that goes against inflation, right? The more money that you print, you're devaluing the
Baka yun yung plano talaga nila.
it's
So
again,
parang
for me it's just
i-bomb yung
it's
economy.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense yun. Like
Ah.
I think yung if you really think about it, there's I don't want to go to political,
So,
but
yeah.
it's
Ah.
really not making sense of what
Yeah.
they're doing right now.
And well, if you think about it, napakadaming factors kung bakit nangyari yung mga yan. And a lot of those factors we don't know. We can only figure out the ones we know. And with real estate, dahil nga tumaas masyado yung presyo ng mga properties, they had to do something to bring down the prices, and nagkataon ng taas pa ng inflation natin. Right? So that's one of the, and honestly, bakit ba tumataas ang inflation? Unang-una, nabanggit mo 2%. Honestly, 2% is really tough. Right? Bakit tumataas ang inflation? One thing for sure is because of
Supply.
government spending.
Ah.
Right? Supply and demand. Right? So, and of course, what's happening in the world? The thing is, at the same time, sobrang taas ng mga value ng mga properties, so they gotta do something. So, nung tinaas nila yung interest rate, really, it's to battle. And this is what I believe, no? Nung tinaas nila yung interest rate, they're saying inflation. There was a point last year na the inflation rate is not that high. And I honestly thought na masyadong overshot yung interest rate natin. The interest rate shouldn't be that high. Kasi nga, the demand on housing is still there. Right? So, pero ang taas pala ng interest rate. Bakit ang taas? Because Bank of Canada can keep it high. They're the ones who makes the decision.
Kasi hindi naman same ang nangyari sa atin tsaka New York.
Mhm.
'Di ba? Kumbaga kapitbahay din natin and parehas tayong na pandemic. Pero yung mga taas ng value ng bahay nila, hindi ka parehas ng nandito.
I think it's
'Di ba? New York City.
yung demand nila doon versus yung demand dito is really different. But
So mas maraming pumasok dito kaysa sa
well, I guess so.
Pero ito, ano masasabi mo? Kasi marami ako napapanood sa TikTok.
Oh my. Okay.
Na ang sinasabi talaga ay hindi magandang investment ang bahay kung ito ay principal residence mo. Na
I have to disagree with that.
kasi ang sinasabi nila
Mhm.
sa interest pa lang, okay,
Talo ka na.
talon-talo ka eh.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
bakit ka magbabayad ng
First 5 years, talo ka.
like no, wala kang control nga dun sa ano eh. Malay mo kung hindi lang 5 years o ano na yung napunta sa principal, no, ay talagang again, kung kung principal home mo.
Mhm.
Ngayon ibang usapan kung bumibili ka para sa revenue property mo, second great, more
Yeah.
power. Ibig sabihin may ka, pero as isa-isa mong principal home sa ngayon
Mhm.
sa bakit ka magbabayad ng 3,500 sa mortgage mo na ang napupunta sa interest ay ganun versus sa principal.
70%
Diba?
interest
Eh
rate.
yung kung ikaw
interest.
nirenta mo na lang yun, okay? Yung enough, yung sobra mong pera, ininvest mo sa iba, siguro in a 5-year o 10-year na kumpara sa principal home mo ay kung saan mo pwede pa na-invest yung extrang 1,500 mo,
Yeah.
halimbawa 1,000. Like, sino ang mas maraming kapital after or pera o cash flow?
Okay. So, actually, ang dami mong point na nasabi doon. So,
Answering ko rin
I
yan,
wish
Tolbert.
nasulat ko para masagot ko lahat eh. Pero unahin ko yung sinabi mo na hindi magandang investment ng principal residence, no? Unang-una, it really depends kung anong klaseng property ang principal residence mo. Right? There are real estate properties na a good investment. There's a real estate property na bad investment.
Ano yung mga para sa
the same-
principal home
Yeah,
na realistic?
for example, no? Like, unang-una, when you buy a property, yung principal residence mo, you will live there for more than 1 year. So, kung ikaw yung klaseng tao nag-flip, of course, hindi ka talaga kikita ng property
Oh.
over 1 year.
Oh.
But over long term, if we actually look at the last 23 years, in the last 23 years, we had at least 5 major na nangyari na nakapagbagsak ng real estate, right? And even with those, yes, bumagsak ang real estate, but it still went up.
Yeah, pero
So-
sinasabi ko yung sa ngayon
Yes,
bagsak tayo eh. So siguro kung after 5 years ibang usapan.
that's right.
Pero yung sinabi mong 5 na mga crashes na yon,
Mhm.
kung tatanungin mo ba at ikaw is halimbawa ay financial planner ka o fiduciary o kung ano man, no?
Mhm.
Kung itong kliyente mo is sasabihin, meron akong 3,500.
Mhm.
Gantong estado ng economy ngayon ha.
Mhm.
Diba? Ito ba ay irerenta ko ba? And kailangan ko ng ng principal
Yeah.
residence, okay?
Mhm.
Wala akong bahay. Irerenta ko ba to or bibili ako? And then yung the rest is sasabihin mo, i-invest ko sa iba.
Okay. So, 3,000, unang-una, ang 3,500 is not enough to own a house in GTA. Right? So, it depends kung gaano ka ka-risky. Like, me, for example, I like taking a lot of risk. Right? But 3,500 can only get you, like, kung mangungupahan ka ng 3-bedroom na bahay ngayon, 3,500 is not
Hindi
even
enough.
enough.
Hindi
Right.
enough.
So, kung meron kang $3,500 per month and that's all you have so you can have a place to stay, then you have to think twice kasi that's not enough for you to find even a place to rent unless mangungupahan ka ng apartment. So, it's
Condo
tough.
yata 2 bedroom yung 3.5.
Yeah, but then you also have
Good luck
utilities
sa
to pay.
apartment. Wala nga
right?
silang ginagawa. Wala nga silang
Yun
binibili.
nga. So, kung 3.5 lang ang pera mo, then remember what I said earlier, may mga ang real estate is not for everyone, right? Madaming mga investments out there na available, right?
For the rich people.
For merong pang doesn't have to be rich, right? Pero yun nga. So may mga maaring real estate is not good for them so they can invest on something else. Pero kung tatanungin mo ako, if you can afford to buy a house today and you need a principal residence, do it. Pero buy something na hopefully merong basement apartment or extra bedrooms so you can find someone else to help you pay
Ang
that
limiting
mortgage.
factor kasi dito, tama nga. Pero dahil nga sa kung gaano walang mahal at dito sa Ontario, alam mo, GTA,
Mhm.
di ba? Hindi ganun kadali para sa lahat na sabihin na lang, bakit? Eh di yung ka lumayo. Again, hindi lahat is may flexibility o may
Mhm.
opportunity na mag-move, relocate, work
That's right.
from home o ano.
Mhm.
So para kang hostage.
Yes.
So yung mga ganun, so yung sinasabi mo nga na ang real estate is hindi para sa lahat. Tama yan. Pero para sa tingin ko, sa klima ngayon, sa economy, is mas lumalawak yung blanket na imbis na dati ang real estate is para hindi para sa lahat, maliit na blanket, maliit na pocket lang yan ng society na
Mhm.
baka parang hindi sa inyo pwede ang real estate. Ngayon parang lumaki yung blanket na parang nawala na ng opportunity na i-take advantage yung real estate sa gusto nilang lokasyon.
Mhm, mhm.
Kasi nga sa klima ngayon.
Yeah, so yan guys sa mga challenges, no? Pero like I said, yung mga tao, this is what I find, no? Marami pa rin ako nakakausap ng mga tao na talagang gusto magkabahay. And if you can be very creative, you can actually do it. In 2009, nagsimula ako mag-introduce ng syndicating sa mga kliyente ko. And ano ba ang syndicating? That means, I create a group of people who would buy one house and they will live there together dahil hindi nila kaya mag-isa. So, maaaring yung taong sinabi mo na 3-5 lang ang kaya niyang pera, maaaring may kaibigan siya na exactly the same thing as situation and I can talk to them and figure something out so they can buy a house together and share the payments nang sa ganun, they have a place to stay. Ngayon, ito ang question, is that a good way of investing? I would say yes. Kasi what you're looking at is long term, not short term. Ngayon, kung meron akong kliyente na has been renting for since 2005 at ang baba ng rental niya. And ito ang sinabi niya sa akin, Chad, I'm not gonna leave my apartment. Sobrang komportable ako eh. Ang mura-mura na monthly payment ko and they can only increase the rent by inflation rate every year. So ba't ako aalis? Sabi ko, tama. Kung komportable ka dyan, stay there. But that doesn't mean you can't invest. And what she did was she bought properties with me and I put tenants there and today she's still renting in the same building but she owns multiple properties.
So, sagot ko din. And then, I mean, like, just look at it on an investment perspective. Yung sabi mo nga, right?
Mhm.
It's just that the people back then has the chance to buy. They bought. And people right now, they just missed the boat. Right?
Hindi, ngayon
It's hard
hindi
to
lang
say.
boat. Yung ang
it's-
supply problem eh. Kasi nga maski may pera ka,
yeah.
yung supply ang wala. So
Mhm.
parang maski may pera ka, o hindi naman yung garapala na alam mo na gusto mo rin na yung sulit. And I don't think kung may pera ka, kung basta may enough na supply dito, hindi no question na gusto mong i-invest yun sa magandang ano.
Well, just like there's too much demand here that sabi mo nga, there's too many people coming in here, too much demand, and I don't think that within 10 years, the government, whatever they do, they're not gonna be able to cope up to whatever balance or offset that. I think personally, kung kaya mo mag-invest ngayon, and if you can buy a house or a thing like that, I think get it, because in the future, I see it within 5 years or whatever, it's just gonna be get tougher and tougher. Sabi nga niya, like if you are able to afford that and then you can rent out yung basement or another
The whole
room,
thing, yeah.
that's just a nice strategy, right? Pero later on, it's just everybody else, the corporation will end up buying properties, and that's gonna be it. You're not gonna be able to own a home, and you're gonna be happy about it.
Yung BlackRock, di ba?
Yes. Basically, you're gonna, as I said, everybody will,
WE.
everything will be bought, and you will own nothing, and you're gonna be happy about it. That's the conclusion.
Yun yung yun yung plano. Yun yung, ano.
Globalist.
Oh, yan, hindi ko alam yun. But all I know is, ito ang sinasabi ko sa mga kliyente namin, right? Buy a house when you are ready. Kung hindi ka ready, don't do it.
Yun ang magandang statement, magandang payo, pero sobrang unfair ng reality ngayon ng karamihan, lalo na dito sa Ontario. Kasi parang buy a house when you're ready. Parang hindi, like never ako magiging ready.
Buy a house when
sa
you're
ganito,
60 years old.
Parang ganun ang
Yeah.
parang
Actually, yun yung reason kung bakit I sit down with each and every person na talagang gustong bumili ng bahay. Kasi we try to figure out a way so they can get in. Right? Kasi it's always now's the best time to buy, pero dapat handa ka. Ngayon, if magiging handa ka with the help with someone, then why not do it that way?
Yeah.
So
like
basically,
five other families.
yung strategy
Unless
na mga
Unless i-kick out ka sa grupo.
Yeah.
ano bang, di ba mga Indian ganyan ang ginagawa dati?
I believe so.
Di ba?
Mga-
Diyan sila nagsimula, di ba?
Yeah.
Bibili ng bahay, 10 pamilya. Okay, ito yung mga bahay, mga tig 100,000 pa.
Makikita mo dun sa Brampton.
Pati ngayon.
Hindi lang Brampton, Caledon.
Mas wild dati kasi mura.
Ah.
Kumbaga, yung 100,000 dati, maski mataas ang interest, may time na mataas eh. I mean, kung divided by 5 families, di ba? Oh. Tapos, kung nag-intay ka ng
And then
10 years, halimbawa.
Bebenta. Yeah.
Diba? Sila yung
Diba,
5
sila.
pamilyang yun, yung 100,000 na yun, na bahay.
Pwede ng pan-down payment.
Naging, hindi lang down. Kaya lahat sila may more than enough na ano.
Pang-down payment.
So, ganyan nga yung ginawa ko nung 2009 with a few of my clients. And they started with, dalawa, tatlo sila. And then after 2-3 years, I will sell it. And then paghahatian nila yung kinita nila.
Parang
And
si
then they will
Angela.
buy it,
Lahat.
natigil sa isa na.
Ano pa ako,
Right, so,
disgruntled.
You have to be, like I said, you have to be creative if you want to get into the market kung hindi mo kaya mag-isa.
Pero ang hirap lang naman doon. Siyempre, baka
Magka-problema, right?
diba? Kasi pamilya, baka yung asawa nung isa, gumapang sa'yo, patay.
May
Diba?
pag-usapan na.
Naku, late ako sa mortgage eh. Pwede bang, pwede
Halika nga
yan.
dito.
Halika bata.
Ito tanong ko sa'yo. Kung may choice ka, let's say, nagka-pera ka,
Mhm.
enough for a down payment. Let's just say enough for like a minimum 10% down
Yung
payment.
Bitcoin mo, tumaas.
And then let's just say, would you put that money sa principal ng bahay, tulasan probably your monthly, or you would put that on another
Yeah,
property?
a very good question.
Ayun.
I will put that in another property. Actually, I don't believe in a fully paid mortgage.
Mhm.
Right? Ito ang reason. This is how I explain it, no? Unang-una, yung bahay mo, regardless kung may balance o wala, the growth of value is the same.
Mhm.
I actually say na an investment property is a dead investment, but ang explanation nun is really, you have so much equity in there, you have so much money in there, pero hindi mo naman nagagamit. It's just there.
Right.
Right? So, ang ginagawa ko, when I have enough equity, if I'm able to pull out equity, I always pull it out and buy another house that will grow. And then I will put tenants there to pay my mortgage. So, kung meron kayo mga property na malaking equity, if it doesn't have to be fully paid, my recommendation is pull it out and let's strategize that money and invest it into a real estate that will work for you.
Paano ba i-calculate roughly kung okay ba yung equity mo na?
Magkano na
Nang hindi
bayaran
ka
mo?
tumatawag sa hindi, I'm sure meron dyan parang shortcut na.
Hindi,
para lang,
titignan mo yung mga,
Balance remaining.
hindi, yung mga for sale na katulad mo sa area na yun.
Ganun ba?
Yeah. Actually, ngayon, madali na ma-find out yan. Meron na nga mga websites na AI na sinasabi
Okay.
sa'yo kung magkano yung approximate value ng bahay mo.
Meron ako.
Although you have to, it's still better to get, a professional to give you an estimate kung magkano yan, like a home appraiser. Right? So,
Hindi, anong ibig sabihin nun? Sabihin na natin, may professional, okay, may home appraiser, sinabi sa'yo 1 million. Okay? Tapos, ikaw, ang utang mo ay 500,000.
Yes.
Anong ibig sabihin
So,
niya?
ang ibig sabihin doon, may equity ka na 500,000. But you cannot pull the entire 500,000 kasi the bank will only allow you to have access to up to 80% ng equity mo. So sa madaling salita, you can pull out 300,000 up to $300,000 provided na ma-approvean ka to do that. Kasi your income still has to be able to support that extra payment na darating for pulling out
Pero
that money.
kung halimbawa isa nga lang itong revenue property mo na inaano mo na pinaplano mong parentahan, di ba?
Mhm.
Bakit hindi nila pwedeng i-consider na ito naman kasi may rerenta eh.
Mhm.
Di ba parang income na rin yun versus
Actually, kino-consider nila yan. Right? That's the reason why kung bakit sinasabi ko, for example, kung meron kang primary residence, kung may primary residence ka, highly recommended na hopefully yung bahay mo merong separate basement apartment. Kasi you can add the potential income of that basement apartment sa income mo so you can get a higher pre-approval. And here's another good thing. Pag ang bumibili ng bahay mo is mababa ang pre-approval, kung yung binibili niya is may basement apartment, makakatulong niya sa approval niya para tumaas nang sa ganun mabili niya yung bahay mo. Kaya magandang investment property ang mga properties na
basement.
merong na multi-units or basement apartment.
Hindi
Right?
na wala separate.
Hindi, madali lang yan eh.
Madali lang naman separate
Eh, paano pag nasa Toronto, tas 4 bedroom?
Yeah.
okay, so nakakita ka na 80%, so sabi nga 500,000 yung utang mo, 1 million yung property mo, halimbawa equity mo 500, so meron kang 80%, 'di ba? Parang 400,000? Tama ba?
300,000
Sorry.
kasi 80% ng,
Sorry.
ng
So,
1 million. Yes.
So 300,000.
Oo. Ipan-down mo na ngayon yung ano.
Hindi, saan
bagong
papasok
property.
dun yung utang mo pa? Sa existing mo na principal?
Hindi, tataas yung bayad ng principal mo.
Yeah.
Tataas na.
Yeah. So mangyayari, pag pinulat mo ang 300,000, ang magiging mortgage mo ngayon is based
Additional-
on 800,000.
Additional,
Na assuming nga, alam mo, wala kang basement eh. Wala kang ganung paano ang kailangang kitain mo dun sa rental property para ma-approve ka ng bangko? Para alam mo na ito palang property kailangan hanapin ko na paparentahan ay kailangan pala 2 o 3 unit. Or hindi, you know what? Kasi hindi naman ganun kalaki. Hamilton, okay na pala yung simpleng simpleng 1 bedroom lang pala. 1 bed, 1. Paano mo malalaman ngayon?
Paano malalaman yung kung magkano ka ma-approvean?
Hindi sa magkano ka ma-approve. Assuming parang ganun. Kung magkano.
May balak si Phil.
Hindi nagtatanong lang,
Okay.
di ba?
So, unang-una, yung
Kukunin niya.
pre-approval mo is based on your income, right?
Halimbawa nga, okay yun. Enough ka lang para dun sa principal residence. Pero, yung tanong ko nga, di ba sabi mo na pwede,
Yes.
i-consider nila, kasi may uupa naman eh,
That's right.
hopefully.
Yeah.
So, ano yun? Ano yung itsura nun? Anong klaseng bahay?
Yeah.
1 bedroom
So,
ba? 2 bedrooms?
It could be anything kasi depende kung saan ka bibili ng property, right? May mga tao na kung nakapula sila ng 300,000, they can invest that into a pre-construction.
Mm.
Yan yung time na, let's say you are able to pull out an X amount of money from your equity. So what we do is we sit down with that person and we figure out kung ano ba ang the best para sa kanya and where to put that money. So if you're capable of buying another detached house in this location, then yun ang bibili natin. Kung yung gusto mo is a pre-construction, nang sa ganun, yung pera mo mas secure, right? But you gotta be very careful. Hindi lahat ng pre-construction is a good investment. And that's the reason why it's very important na yung realtor mo is really well-versed sa mga ganyan.
At saka wala ka agad income na potential, di ba? Kasi kung pre-construction pa, kung 5 years pa, yung mortgage mo tumatakbo na, halimbawa.
Yeah, so,
Patay ka.
yeah,
Pero
kaya
tumaas naman yung equity
tumaas
mo.
naman yung,
Equity mo agad.
tumataas pa rin yung equity ng bahay mo and yung binili mo pre-construction, depending kung anong pre-construction yun, will actually increase in value by a lot. And I can give you two pre-construction I truly believed in. So depende yun. So unang-una, bago pa natin gawin yung pull out ng equity mo, pina-pre-approve ka na rin namin kung magkano ba ang mabibili mong bahay. Kasi walang point na mag-pull out ka ng equity kung wala ka namang approval eh.
Wala kang plano na.
Or wala kang plano. So with that, then
Ilagay ko sa Bitcoin.
Mhm. Pwede kung yan ang gusto mo, right? Kasi in the end of the day, you don't want your equity sitting down doing nothing.
Make
And
the
you
money work.
Yeah, you don't have to
Diba?
use that money towards real estate. You can put it towards Bitcoin if you like Bitcoin. Or stocks if you like stocks. So
Not an
it's totally up to you.
investment. Not an investment advice. Gusto ko lang ilagay na.
Sa
ilagay mo na.
pelikula.
Hindi, pero kung mag-aano ka ng ganong equity, kailangan mong ng return
Makuha.
agad.
Hindi naman.
Bakit hindi? Kung tataas kung dati mortgage mo 3,500, 4,000.
Magiging
Kumuha ka
yan?
ng magiging 6,000.
Magiging
halimbawa,
5
oo.
at least.
Saan ka kukuha?
Yeah.
Agad
So,
yun.
yung mga investors na ganyan, unang-una when they pull out equity, hindi ka ma-approve ng bangko na mag-pull out ng equity unless you can afford that new mortgage. So given na yun, like they can already manage that. Isa sa mga example ko dyan is one of the people I help, one of my investors, meron siya mga tenants sa basement niya, ang baba na ng monthly payment niya. So even if he or she pulled out $500,000, kaya pa rin niyang i-manage yung existing primary
may
residence niya. And then the idea is that money, we can put it towards something that will grow in value over time. Could be a pre-con or a resale. And if it's a resale, we want to make sure na yung bibilin mo is a really good property to rent out.
Hindi lang yan. Meron ako idea. Bili ka ng parking lot.
Dito
Hindi,
naman,
tsaka,
mahal.
hindi, ang pwede mo rin kasi gawin
Mga
doon.
parking lot, Dre.
Ang pwede mong gawin doon is hahatiin mo.
Yeah.
Halimbawa, hahatiin mo sa dalawang pre-construction or isang pre-construction or isang malayo. Halimbawa, pero yung pre-construction, like for sure ka na kung maganda nga yung sinabi niya.
Yeah.
Halimbawa, yung maganda yung area. Then, tumataas na like each year.
Dude, yung parking lot, kapag nabili mo na, magre-rent mo daily.
Actually,
Daily, may kikitain ka.
hindi biro yung
Joke,
parking
joke,
lot na yan.
Diba?
Actually, that's true.
Diba?
Kung may kapital ka.
Alam mo
magkano
ba,
lang yun? 200K.
Sa downtown.
No, good
Naman,
luck.
hindi naman sa
Good luck.
downtown. Probably naman sa...
Sinong paparada sa'yo kung pangit lokasyon mo? Bakit kailangan pa ng parking lot doon? Di ko mga
Pickering.
bundok-bundok.
Sabi niya, magbibuild sila ng ilang building doon.
Hindi kailangan ng
hours.
parking lot doon.
45.
yeah.
Katabi ng casino.
Doon na tayo sa Pickering.
Man, this guy-
Bumili.
Yeah.
Pickering is actually a really good place to invest.
So ganun
Even
pala.
Hamilton, even Curtis.
Curtis doon na yun eh.
Ano ba
Lagpas
ginagawa nila doon sa
Bowmanville na yun.
Pickering Ajax? Ano ba yung
So,
ginagawa nila doon? Alam mo ba
Basically,
yun?
yung isa sa mga ginagawa ng government ngayon is they're making
Inside
transit-oriented
Kasi ang dami ginagawa doon sa area na yun eh.
mga transit-oriented. Just to give you guys a background, no, meron akong isa sa mga team members namin used to be the chair for government relations and land developments in Durham.
Oo.
So because of that, we were able to lobby with the government and find out kung nasan yung mga projects nila. So we actually know what's gonna happen in the next 20 years in Durham, lahat ng developments.
Sabihin mo
And
sa
what
akin,
they're
baka
doing is,
ibebenta ko
Durham na
ng
tayo,
ano?
Durham.
yeah, and what they're doing is they're making transit-oriented communities, right? So
15-minute cities.
yeah, so ngayon, and that is also to solve the housing crisis kasi we need housing, right? In fact, ngayon, I don't know if you know, you are now allowed to build a coach house in your backyard.
Wala
Right.
akong backyard eh.
So kung
Meron akong
backyard,
gano'n na space.
right? So ang dami nilang ginagawa. Nagbi-build na sila ng mga they prefer na mag-build ka ng mga townhouses today instead of just detached houses. Kaya ang dami mga lumalabas ng mga condo developments, and that's mainly because kasi nga we're trying to solve that housing crisis. So yun.
Man, pala mangyayari.
Oo.
Paano, halimbawa,
Pickering.
2024, election na naman, di ba?
Ayun nga, very
So,
important. So
like,
hopefully,
pwedeng lahat ng pinag-uusapan natin, I don't know,
Mababago?
paano kung magka-nuclear war, magka-civil war, or kung
yan
ano.
that's the thing, right? Pag nagkaroon ng giyera, guaranteed,
Lahat
prices,
mababagsak
everything is
eh.
gonna go down the drain, right? But we don't want to think too negatively, right? They will do everything they
Pero
can
may
to
gera
avoid.
na nga eh.
Yeah, so
Ayun.
hopefully not in Canada, right?
Well, ang problema is, ang gera ng US is gera din natin in a way.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, sobrang apektado tayo. Diba? Pag sumobrang, maski sa kung anumang mga markets, is parang isa lang tayo eh.
In fact, yung ang giyera na nangyayari sa Ukraine yun, we're feeling it here in Canada na. Right? And
Your
that's the reason
tax,
why nangyari yung
Dapat
last year.
nagwawelga ka doon sa
Right?
labas.
So,
Carbon
we can't
tax.
stop that, unfortunately, right? So, we just hope na this new election will actually,
Aling
yung-
election yun sa US or
Both.
Canada.
Both.
Hindi, yun
Both.
nga eh, na parang
Both.
I say
atomic
mainly
bomb
Canada
na
kasi,
ano eh.
yeah.
Dalawang eleksyon na, I don't know.
I mean, the inflation is still gonna be there. I mean, the rate cuts. I guess that's probably one thing that may be a different, like how if Trump wins, how drastic he's gonna,
May utang pa siya eh, di ba?
No, the US has
Okay, dito lang
The- the US,
tanong natin.
the
May-
whole US.
Okay, since may realtor tayo dito.
Oh.
Ay, alam mo ba, familiar ka doon sa kaso ni Trump? Doon sa kung bakit siya pinagbayad?
Not very.
Ah,
I really don't
sige,
focus
sige.
on
Hindi,
this.
wag-
Pero I know a little bit about it, although I'm not an expert.
Hindi, so wag na natin.
Describe mo kasi.
Hindi, alam mo, di ba ngayon may utang siya sa New York? Pero ang sinasabi nga kasi nila is lahat naman ng developer is ganon. Di ba? Bakit siya yung ini-eliminate or ina-isolate sa problema? Kasi pinagbayad siya.
Yung tax,
Hindi,
yung,
dahil in-inflate niya yung value ng mga towers niya or something ng mga
Na
property.
normal practice daw yun.
Normal
Yeah,
practice
it's-
naman
yeah,
yun.
normal
Oo,
practice.
So, wala na. Dinaanan lang natin.
Malaking issue ngayon.
Ah,
Yung may nangyari sa China ngayon.
ganun.
Mhm.
So, ang tanong lang rin namin, paano ka siguro kwento mo na lang kung paano ka nakaabot sa 0.25. Like, ano ba yung sinimulan mong mga trabaho? Like, lahat ba sales na kagad? Or, nag-accounting ka ba muna?
Oh, actually, ako kasi, I've been in sales since I was young. So, when I was, at the age of even 6-7 years old, I grew up with my grandparents. So, tinitrain na nila ako sa sales kasi mga negosyante din sila eh. Right? So, I grew up doing sales. When I came to Canada, third year high school ako nung umalis ako sa Pilipinas. And the only thing I know is sales. So, after high school, ang hinanap ko agad ng trabaho is sales. Although I tried a lot of jobs, pero hindi ako nag-last kasi I don't enjoy it.
Nakapagbenta ka rin ba ng vacuum?
Hindi ko nasubukan. Actually, sa Radio Shack, yes.
Already.
Ang pinakaunang sales
Nakakamiss
job
yung
ko,
Radio Shack naman.
ang pinakaunang job ko sa Canada really is Radio Shack. Right? And I have to say, yung manager ko noon, si Ray Facun, I owe him a lot because he taught me a lot. So I've always liked sales, and dumating ako sa point na, hey, I wanna do something more significant. So I think it all started nung bumili ako ng sarili kong bahay nung 2004. Kasi yung realtor na tumulong sa akin is hindi ako tinulungan ng mabuti. So
2004, ang tagal na nun,
Yes,
20
so-
years ago.
So it was a bad experience for me and my family, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna be a realtor because, and make a difference. So 2007, I became a realtor, and I tried a lot of things. Tatawa nga kayo pag nalaman niyo yung talagang history ko sa real estate.
Paano nga?
Anong pwede mong itry pa? Anong ibig sabihin try as
I
a
tried a lot of
realtor?
things kasi, there's 7,000 to 8,000 realtors out there, right? If you wanna compete, you have to be different.
Kasi
Right?
meron dyan yung tipong magnanak ka talaga sa bawat door,
Yeah,
tapos
so
mamimigay
I
ka ng...
love door knocking until
Ah.
I still door knock today.
Yan, daming
I
ano
still
sa-
cold call today. Right? I think the biggest thing that I did was I created a team and I started designating.
Ah.
Right? We have to realize na we only have 8 hours in one day. And ang energy level natin is only good for 6 to 8 hours, and after that we die down. But here's the secret, right? Kung passion mo yung ginagawa mo, hindi ka napapagod. You can work even longer than that and you have a lot of energy. But then again, we only have 24 hours. So I started designating. So I started with getting an assistant. And then I noticed naging sobrang busy kami. So, I asked my wife to quit and join me in real estate. Right? So ang ginawa namin is I only do listings. Siya nasa buy side. And then we have one assistant. And then we got even busier kasi naging mas efficient. So then we started hiring buyer agents. And that's when RCC Real Estate Group happened. Before we were RCC team, but in 2012, I believe, we converted to RCC Real Estate Group kasi lumaki na yung team. And each and every realtor in my team have a designation. So meron akong pre-construction expert, meron akong expert sa East, meron akong expert sa West, meron akong expert sa North, right? And me as the team leader, I only do listings and I help investors. And I invest in real estate everywhere. I also got to a point na I build custom homes, right? So I also have a construction company. We also do a lot of renovations. So any real estate, we can help you out. And marami ako mga programs sa mga kliyente ko talaga. Pero alam mo, here's the thing, right? If you want to be successful sa negosyo na to, it's all about relationship, right? You can have all of these things. You can have a big company, you can have a big team, but if you don't build relationship, or if you don't take care of your clients, then I don't think you will be successful. So it's all about building relationship talaga.
Sa
Kaya
building, sa
Kaya,
delegation.
in relationship tayo dapat.
Si Warren may relationship yan kay Jennifer Camacho.
Ano naman yun? Saan nanggaling?
Canada News,
This guy.
Pero yan, nakakabilib lang yung mga ganun. At,
Hindi
yun,
ba
kasi
nasa 0.25 din si Jennifer?
0.25.
Si Jennifer?
ay, hindi ko alam. Ano, ewan ko, hindi ko alam. Ayoko magsabi.
Para may website ba para ma-check?
Hindi ko alam.
Hindi, pero isipin mo nga sobrang dami nga ng realtor, di ba?
Mhm.
So, alam mo yun, ang hirap ng competition na yun. Tapos,
Yeah.
isang pool lang na.
Ako may tanong. How would you think see in the future? Kasi you're building a team, personnel, and you have listing now. You have companies that doesn't require realtors anymore.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. You don't, in today's market, you don't need a realtor to sell because you can sell privately, right? But the thing though is if you will look at the track records, right? Yung mga tao na may realtor were able to sell a lot more. But here's the reason why. Kasi it's not that easy to sell a house, especially in today's market. Being a realtor is not enough for you to be able to help that listing or that seller, or to sell that listing. You need to have the specific skills. You need to have the specific market and capabilities to sell that house high. Bibigyan kita ng example, no. In December or in January, meron akong kliyente na binenta ko yung bahay niya. Nung December 20, her neighbor sold her house for $715,000 sa Curtis,
Mhm.
right? And I would say it's a better home than my clients. But then my client said, ang gusto kong ibenta to ng $799. I'm like, okay, we can do that. We will try our best, right? I can't promise you that I can, but I can promise you that I will do my best to do it, and I have this system that can help us do that. And nung January 17, nabenta ko yung bahay niya ng $865,000. That's
Dang.
$150,000 more than nung neighbor niya.
Ah.
And that's
So
only
you have to do something with the house. You have to
Oh,
renovate and
there-
stuff like that.
we didn't have to renovate.
Okay.
It's not just about the house anymore. It's also about how you market and represent that house and timing. Right?
Mm.
So hindi ganun talaga kadali magbenta ngayon. Like if you want to sell high, you have to properly market that house.
Mm-mm.
You have to
Right.
put 4 bedrooms
It's
instead.
not just about the house. It's about how you market it.
Anong ibig sabihin nun, how you market? Paano ba minamarket ang house?
For example, sabi mo, 2 minutes walk away from the grocery, although
Hindi, pero paano mo malaki, parang
Yeah.
yung
You have to
sige.
showcase that house properly, right? Like as for example, my market is international, right? So lahat ng mga listings ko, we market it internationally in their language, right? Pangalawa, I have this 2 weeks process na we have to follow before I even put that house on MLS. And by the time the house is on MLS, sobrang alam na ng mga tao yung mga property na lalabas itong property na to. So the excitement is there, the interest is already there. And part ako ng isang exclusive network ng mga realtors na nagtutulungan para mabenta ang mga property na to. Luxury. Luxury portfolio, for example. Not everyone is part of that. There's a lot. So we do a lot to sell these things for sure.
Mag-move na ako sa Curtis. Doon yung sa east pa sa Bowmanville, Manda, di ba? Malapit sa Bowmanville. So yun.
Ano pa bang magbo-boom na city?
Madami, actually. Alam mo-
Alam mo yun, kung meron kang alam, within the 20 years, magbo-boom, there's gonna be some major,
Ayan
construction or projects na namin doon. Yun ang advantage. You
Yeah.
have to know that.
Sa Liverpool ba? May
I guess.
Liverpool ba dito? Ang tawag?
Curtis
That-
is
Manchester,
He-
Manchester.
Yan lang sabihin mo sa akin kung saan.
Yeah. The best way to invest is kung nasaan yung mga government developments, right? We already know the government studied that market before they even do those developments. But I can tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, Hamilton is going to be a big one. Durham is gonna be a big one, especially Curtis.
Saan
And
yung
more
Cortez?
east.
Saan?
Just
Curtis-
after Oshawa. In
Oo.
fact, Curtis
Ah,
already
Shop-
went up
Bill,
in
malapit
value.
sa Bowman.
Just
Ah.
after Whitby?
Curtis.
After Oshawa.
Ah.
Clarendon, Curtis. And you know, Pickering is a good place to invest.
Ajax kasi ako eh.
Oh, Ajax. Good.
Yeah.
I'm from Pickering.
Sa,
Kapitbahay kita.
malapit sa ano sa casino. Kaya sinabi ko yung tinanong ko kanina, ang daming developments ng ginagawa
Yes.
doon, hindi ko alam kung anong papatay nila doon. So,
Sobrang smart nga eh. Kasi in Durham, inuna nila yung casino na yan kasi they wanted to attract people to come in.
Ah.
So nung na-open up yung casino na yan, then other opportunities came. Kasi una-una, nagkaroon ng job opportunities.
Ah.
And then next thing you know, dahil mura pa ang Durham, a lot of companies invested and opened up businesses there.
Hmm.
So ngayon, ang dami ng mga employment doon. And then ngayong madami ng employment, now they're putting more housing. So,
Tsaka
Yes.
iba klase yung ano na yun, yung casino na yun.
yes.
Nakakapag parang may 5,000 seater na venue.
yeah,
Diba?
so a lot of things are
Music
happening
venue.
in that area. Magkakaroon na rin tayo ng Porsche racetrack sa Pickering.
Baka yun na yung ginagawa nila
Right?
doon.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually yun.
Benta mo
Maubos-
na, pare.
Maubos yung pera ko doon, man. Sugarol pa naman.
Ah. Pero yeah, so ayun, ang dami naming natutunan, Chad.
Oh, thank you. Parang nabitin yung time na. Akala ko mahaba isang oras eh.
Thank you very much. Naubusan na tayo ng time at siguro bigyan namin kayo ng opportunity, para para mas makilala ka pa ng mga viewers natin. Or siguro invite mo sila kung saan kanila mahahanap.
Oh yeah, for sure. And, you can email me sa romeo@rccrealestategroup.com. Website namin is rccrealestategroup.com. My direct phone number is 416-806-9225. If you guys have any questions, you can also send us a message sa Instagram or Facebook, RCC Real Estate Group. RCC Real Estate Group din yung pangalan ng page namin. But if you guys have any questions, you can send us an email. We'll respond. I can give you a call. Yeah, tawag lang.
Ayan. So thank you very much at syempre papasalamat kami lahat sa iyo at sana marami rin kayong natutunan ngayon at kung meron kayong mga suggestion ng mga topics, sabihin niyo lang sa amin at kontakin niyo kami through Instagram, Facebook or sa aming TikTok. And syempre wag niyo kakalimutan suportahan yung mga YouTube namin, yung mga videos na yan nagawa ng mga local Filipinos dito. At magkita-kita na lang ulit tayo next week.
Comment.
Dito lang.
Subscribe.
Dito
Like,
lang
subscribe.
sa Barber's Cut.